has face-to-face interview coming up? Who has an event day coming up? Who has an in-person interview coming up? Keep watching. I got some tips and tricks for you to be successful, to get you hired, to get your CJO at your upcoming event day or face-to-face interview. Stay tuned. Alright guys, so welcome back to my channel. Once again, if you're new, my name is Priscilla. It's still Priscilla. Welcome to my next location. In today's video, I will be sharing with you guys ways to get hired when you attend your face-to-face interview for the flight attendant role or for your in-person interview. I'm here with the real deal. Like, it works. It's not like I'm just saying this. It works because I recently just got hired on as a flight attendant. I recently attended my event day and I applied these tricks because it works. It works. It works. So it's 10 tips to help you get hired. So I'm not here for games. I'm not here to play. I'm not here to beat around the bush. I'm here to get straight to the point, give you all the nitty-gritty information you need to get yourself hired, because we cannot go through all these hoops just to get to the event day or the face-to-face interview or the in-person interview and not get our CJO. That's not the game we're on right now. The game we're on right now is to get that CJO, bag that CJO, and keep it pushing. So the first thing is to smile. As mediocre as this might sound, you have to smile. You have to be happy because, mind you, the flight attendant role is very competitive. I did not know how competitive it was until I actually got into the industry. It is so competitive, so you have to be happy at the least that amongst the thousands of people that applied for the role, you were selected to attend the face-to-face interview or the event day. Once you've been invited for the in-person interview, it means they like you. They like something about you. You going for the face-to-face is just for them to sum everything up, bring everything together, gel everything together. But once you get that invitation, it means they've spotted something about you that they appreciate or they like and they want to know more. So when you get there, your cheeks should be like this. You need to be happy. You need to smile. You have to make a conscious effort to smile. Even when you're not happy, even when you're uncomfortable, even when you don't feel like you got things under control, you have to smile. In this case, I will say fake it to make it. Smile. Even when you're getting a snack, smile. Even when you're drinking water, smile. Even when you're going to the restroom, smile. You have to be happy at all times because you're surrounded by so many people observing you. Obviously, they're not watching you when you go to potty or when you go to the restroom, but you have so many people observing you. So you have to make sure that every second, every moment, you're giving your best. So smile. All right, so moving on to point 2. The other thing you should keep in mind and should be doing is you have to call people by their names. You have to try as much as possible to use people's names. When the person interviewing you introduces themselves, remember that name. As you're interacting with people during the breakout session, make sure you're using people's name. Even if you're in a group section and you have a question to ask, you raise your hand. If you know the instructor by name, use their name. So point number 3, be a team player. In as much as the job or the role has a high level of independence in a way, during the face-to-face interview or the in-person interview or the event day, make sure you are a team player. You do want to stand out and own your own, but you also have to show them that you know how to work with other people. Because like I said in the beginning at this point, you're going to be working on your own. Now, however, you will be working with other people as well. Depending on which airline you're applied to or what kind of, whether they're mainline or regional, but at some point you're going to be working with other people and they need to see that in as much as you can be independent and own your own or take initiative on your own, you also have the ability to work with other people, because there will be several activities during that in-person interview or that event day, and one of them will be you working with a team. Disclaimer, you getting hired has nothing to do with the person sitting next to you. Keep that in mind. So just do you and know that you working with others, you helping other people out, you taking initiative, you taking feedback from your fellow applicants does not impact you in a negative way, in the sense that you will be expected to be a team player at some point. You just have to be able to gel with other people. When it comes to that one-on-one interview, that's when you have to stand out and show out. However, when you're doing team events or interacting with other applicants, you have to show that you're a team player. It's very necessary. They don't want somebody who just wants to own it all and want to do everything by themselves. You have to be willing to work with other people or feel comfortable working with other people, and you have to show it. Don't worry, I got a whole list here, so I came prepared. I am armed and ready. Point number 4 is do not hog the interview. Do not take over the event. You don't have to go there trying to be the number one or the person that has everybody's attention. That affects you negatively because then you don't know how to give other people the opportunity to shine. You just want to hog the spotlight. So it's not all about you. Remember that. It's not all about you. In as much as you're supposed to stand out and show out, you should do that in a courteous way. You should do that in a way that does not dim the light of other people. Point number 5, which is very, very, very important. You have to practice answering interview questions. Personally, what I have done in the past, because I've gone for several interviews, is that I find 3 scenarios in my professional life or my work life that I could use to answer interview questions that might relate to why you want this job, a difficult situation, working with a team member, and then also dealing with a difficult client and stuff like that. So I found 3 examples or 3 things that I had gone through throughout my work life, and I literally used the STAR method to break down what I did in those situations. Those 3 examples I was able to use to answer almost every single question asked during the interviews that I had with the different companies. They were not necessarily asking me the same question. However, the scenarios that I had memorized or that I had memorized in the STAR method form, which is a situation, task, action, and result, was able to help me answer every single question using the same example across board. If you do your research, like check Glassdoor, check Indeed, as generic as those questions may sound, majority of the time when you go for a face-to-face interview or even on the online interview, the questions that are asked are quite similar. That's why they're there, because people were asked those questions and they posted them there. I will say just do as much research as possible. In today's video though, however, I do want to share 2 questions that you might potentially be asked. What is good customer service? And what is good customer service is the response they're looking for is not necessarily your definition of customer service. No, that's not it. You have to personalize it. And then the other thing is, why do you want to become a flight attendant? If you're going to an in-person interview or an online interview or a virtual interview and you don't know the answer to this question, then you need to step back and get an answer. Because if you're applying for a role, you need to be able to know why you want to do it, or what's driving you to do it. So remember, find the answer to that question and make it personal. Don't give just a generic answer there. Make it personal. Why do you want this role? Why do you want to become a flight attendant? Point number 6, you have to dress professionally and look professionally. For the men, your beard needs to be trimmed. If you're going to keep it long, make sure it is trimmed and nicely shaped, clean cut, clean look. If you need to dress and look professional, you can't go with your hair all over. For the men, if you're wearing a suit, make sure it's clean, it's well ironed. Don't go in with wrinkled shirts, like colored yellow socks. Like, you need to look professional. I'm not sure if all the airlines do it, but I know some of them definitely send you an email letting you know how to dress or what they're looking for in terms of colors and dress code. Follow it, look professionally, put effort into your look. Ladies, if you want to wear makeup, put on your natural glam. That is not the time to go put on hot pink lipstick, hot pink eyeshadow, blue mascara. No. Make it clean and natural. Give it an everyday look. No too much highlights, too much, none of that. Everybody likes a glam up, but this is not the time for that. Let's aim for soft glam. Yes, soft glam it is. And even with your dressing, look professional. If you're wearing a skirt, make sure it's not too high above the knee. Put efforts into your look. Your image is very important. It speaks volumes of who you are. Point number 7, stand out. You have to make sure that you are memorable. You have to make sure that every single individual that you come in contact with during the in-person interview process or the event day remembers you, if not by name, by face. Leave a mark with whoever you interact with. I know I said don't hog the interview. Don't take over. Don't step on top. So you have to be conscious of what you're doing. You have to be memorable. You have to make sure you're remembered. Not in a negative way or an annoying way, but you have to stand out with your actions. And that's what happens, like, because everybody's watching you. When you're there, they're watching you. So in as much as you don't want to hog the platform or be in the spotlight the whole time, during your one-on-one interaction, make sure you remember. Point number 8 is you have to be safety conscious. Before I went for my face-to-face event, I watched a lot of videos, and then a lot of the current flight attendants were sharing the fact that in as much as most people assume that the flight attendant role is just about serving with pretzels and cookies on the airplane, that's not it. The primary role of a flight attendant is to ensure that in the case of an emergency, you are able to safely get everybody off this plane or safely deal with the situation. Your primary role is safety bound and not you serving cookies and pretzels. So I had that in mind. However, if you're not aware, then I'm here to give you all the info. The flight attendant role requires someone who's safety conscious. You have to let them know whatever, in whichever way possible, even if it's in your one-on-one interview, where you have like somebody interview you face to face, show that you exude safety, or safety is a priority for you as well. Point number 9, tips on getting you hired. Imagine yourself in the flight attendant role. How would you carry yourself? How would you walk? How would you talk? How would you interact? And what I did was imagining myself in the role, I considered the other applicants as customers. So my interactions with them were favorable, were friendly, were nice. I used their name. I took the initiative. I was assertive. I was actually walking up to people and talking to them. At no point in time should you be standing around during a breakout session just wandering and just looking around. Don't do that. If nobody's coming to talk to you, take the initiative to go talk to people. So keep that in mind. You have to feel it. Ask questions that shows that you're genuinely interested in the role. You really want to know like what the role is about. Because mind you, if your face-to-face event was like what I attended, then you're going to be meeting a lot of flight attendants, other people who are in the role. They run the show when you go to the face-to-face event. So alongside HR and talent acquisition, but they're going to be there. So be interested. Imagine yourself being one. How would it feel like? Ask people questions, genuine questions, real questions, to get a feel of what the job is like, because you're going to be doing that job too. Point number 10 is be yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to be authentic. Do not fake it. If you have to fake it, then it means probably this role is not for you. It's not. Your emotions have to be genuine. Regardless of what you have going on outside of that event day or that face-to-face event, forget about it. When you're in that room, focus on what's going on in that room. You in that role. Number 9, imagining yourself as a flight attendant. You in that role. You have it already. Enjoy the moment. Be yourself. And like I said in my other video, once you allow yourself to thrive naturally, your strengths will show, your skills will show. So just be yourself. Don't be out there doing the most. Just be yourself. If you've watched it this far, it means you like the content that I'm sharing. Subscribe to this channel. Support your girl. I'm trying to hit 100 subscribers. Help me hit that goal. If you don't take anything away from today's video, take this with you. Don't compare yourself to other people, because when you go, there will be people who are out there in the spotlight, asking questions, putting themselves out there all over the place. As I said during this video, you getting hired has nothing to do with the person next to you. You getting your CJO has nothing to do with the other applicant that are in there with you or that are sitting next to you. You own your success in that room. Be yourself. Follow the tips that I've offered in this video. It works. It truly works. At some point, certain activities might not go well for you. Keep it pushing. Don't focus. Don't dwell on the negative. Focus on the positive. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, out of the thousands of people that applied, you were selected to attend this event day, which means they saw something in you and they want to know more. Face-to-face event or the event day is where you go to seal the deal, climax the whole thing. And if you don't get your CJO at this time, if you really want to be a flight attendant, keep trying. Don't give up. That moment might just not be the time for you. Keep trying. Once again, thank you for watching today's video. Thank you for supporting me. If you like today's video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you have an event day coming up? Have you attended an event day? Have you attended your face-to-face interview? Share your experience. Let me know in the comment section below. Once again, my name is Priscilla. Thank you for watching today's video. I am signing out. See you in my next one. Bye-bye.